Hi everybody! So first I wanted to show you how to assemble the pattern pieces. So each pattern piece will be assigned a letter. So this is pattern F and this is pattern G. To know which pieces go where, you're just going to read what it says right here, where the pieces would meet. So this says attached to piece G. So find piece G. And we're going to know this attaches here. This says attached to piece F. So this is piece F. So what I'm going to do is just cut along the dotted lines on one of these. Very carefully. Okay. Don't worry, these are my paper scissors. They used to be my fabric scissors until my husband used them. I was like, no. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and align this perfectly before we tape. And then we will just tape that on. There you go. So you'll just continue doing that to all the pattern pieces, and then you'll cut out your pattern piece. So I am going to be sewing my liner with the minky. And if you've never used minky before, it could be kind of hard to work with. So I have a little trick for making it a little bit easier. I just apply a stabilizer to it. This pattern calls for non-stretch anyway. This particular one is 911FF. It's a Pellin brand. But they have a lot of different ones that would work as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to iron that onto my lining. I love this little ironing mat. It's much better than my ironing board I had. Well, I still have my ironing board. I keep it in case I have a really big project, but I don't really use it anymore still. Okay, so my Pellin wasn't big enough to get everything, so I had to like cut pieces. So when I'm transferring my markings, I like to lay everything the way it's supposed to be if it were finished. So I have my outer piece on the bottom with the right side down, my inner piece on top with the right side up. Then I would have my inner front panel right side down, and then my outer piece right side up. So after it's all sewn, your swaddle is going to go like, this is where you'll insert baby, and the swaddle will go over like that. So I ended up cutting out my transfer parts. Since I'm using such a dark material, I needed to use chalk, and I couldn't really get in there with just the holes with my chalk. So I went ahead and just traced that, flipped it over and traced that side. So that marking would need to go on your outer front panel piece. Now for this one, we need this to go on our left inner, right inner, left outer, left outer. So this is going to be my right side and this is going to be my left. So I want this marking here to be done on my left inner side. So I'm just going to match it up with here. And I'm going to go ahead and make so then when this piece closes, this velcro will attach to that velcro, and then that'll be our swaddle. So let's get started. Okay, so the first step you want to do is take your front panel pieces, and there's some darts here, and this is a dart, this little triangle part. And that's just going to help like shape the fabric or the pattern, I guess. So what you want to do is you want to put these darts right sides together, and you want to just sew down them using a 3/8" seam allowance. So you're going to do that to all 4 darts, and I will be back. So I've gone ahead and used my serger, but you could use a regular sewing machine just using a straight stitch. Make sure you do that 3/8" seam allowance. And I've gone ahead and done it to both sides. Now what we want to do is sew these front pieces together. So I'm going to lay them right sides together. Okay, and I'm going to sew all the way around, leaving a 3 to 4 inch gap at the top, so I could pull everything out right side out. So start about here, you're going to sew all the way around using a 3/8" seam allowance and stop up here, leaving your gap. So I'm going to do that and I'll be back. Okay, so I've gone ahead and done that. So now what I need to do is just put my hand in here and just pull everything through. Just push everything out. Okay, so this is going to be the front of my swaddle, and this is going to be my inner liner. So I've gone ahead and turned everything in the right side out. And then you're just going to want to iron everything smooth so it's easier to sew with later. Your top opening here, you're going to want to fold the pieces inside together like that, and then we're going to stitch over it. So we're going to stitch here to keep it all together, and then we're going to continue stitching from our stop point. So actually you're going to start at this stop point. These are the markings you transferred over earlier. Continue up, over, and down, and end at this stop point. So I've gone ahead and changed my thread. My upper thread is blue and my lower thread is lavender to match this. So I'm going to do that. And then don't forget to back stitch. So I've gone ahead and top stitched from here and over. And then for the next step, we want to sew our darts on our actual swaddle piece. So you do the same thing, right sides together, use a 3/8" seam allowance and sew there. On both your liner and your outer piece, I've gone ahead and done it to this one. Okay. All right. Okay, so you're going to put your pieces right sides together just like this. I'm going to pin mine a little bit better. And you're going to start here at the bottom. You want to leave a 3 to 4 inch gap at the bottom. So we're going to start here, sew all the way up, all the way around, all the top, the side, back down, and stopping here so that we have that gap. So I'm going to do that and I'll be back. So I've gone ahead and sewed all around, leaving my opening here. So I'm just going to pull everything through. Okay, so here's what I have. Just want to make sure everything's pulled through all the way. Sometimes you can get your hand in there and push it in. Okay. There we go. Okay. So now what I want to do is iron everything down and enclose this area. So I'm just going to push this, these together here like that, and then I'm going to. Okay, So now that that's finished, I'm going to add the hook part of the Velcro to my front panel. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab my hook part and just measure and cut my piece. Okay, there we go. Alright, and now I'm just going to sew that on. So I still have my purple thread underneath. I don't know if you can see very well, but I'm basically just going to put the Velcro down and sew right over it and just hold it in place. So there we go. I've gone ahead and applied the hook part there. Okay. And now I want to put my front panel on. So here's my swaddle. Here's my opening at the bottom. And I'm just going to match up the dots below that I marked earlier. Match that up. And then I'm going to clip everything around. Okay, so I have mine clipped all around. But before I sew that together, I'm going to add my Velcro strips on my swaddle pieces. So I like to try to minimize changing my thread over and over and over. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that step here, and then I'm going to sew around, and then we'll be done with our swaddle, and I'll be back. Okay, so here's my swaddle. It's all finished up. There's my Velcro, and there we go. And then you can just insert baby here. Baby's gonna be nice and cozy on this soft minky, and the jean look gives it a nice country feel. Thanks for watching.